Hey, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the insulin-like growth factor 2. So, IGF2. So, this is a short video. Please watch the whole video about the insulin-like growth factor 2. So, it is a protein hormone known to regulate cell proliferation. The cell proliferation means the cell will increase the number of cell and the growth of the cell. Migration. It means the cell will move from one place to another, and differentiation, the changes of the shape of the cell, and survival, the maintenance of the cell. The gene is paternally imprinted in the sense that transcripts are almost exclusively derived from the paternal allele. So this is paternal. So in this way, remember about that things. For example, our IGF2 production is same like our parent. So it is imprinted. Importance for fetal development. So it is important for fetal development and less active but still after birth. So it is less active after birth, but it will work in the after birth part less. So our growth syndrome and gigantism by IGF2 can be possible. On the other hand, the cancer causing ligand and other cell proliferation can possible. Anyhow, this is the graph which that show the vertically the x-axis, the y-axis, the IGF2 constriction, while the horizontally show the time. For example, fertilization to the 14th year. So in this way, the 6 month is between the 6 month. So it will rush more. And in this way, after the fertilization, zygote to cleavage formation required more insulin-like growth factor 2. And in this way, the embryo convert into the complete fetal development, and this is complete fetus. This complete fetus basically will ultimately increase the insulin-like growth factor 2, but with the passage of time, the insulin-like growth factor 1 will increase while the insulin-like growth factor 2 will decrease during the adulthood. But it will work already. So it will work less than the insulin-like growth factor 1. So mother also provide the IGF2 to the baby. So remember, and nutrition required from mother. So in this way, the good nutrition from mother will give the insulin growth factor 2 to the zygote first initially. So then the fetus will produce itself. In this way, let's understand about the whole picture to understand the pattern. So nutrition which that increase the IGF2 from mother. So in this way, more get good nutrition and more healthy vitamin containing food will lead to increase the IGF2 from the mother. And in this way, the IGF2 basically also work as a paracrinally whenever the fetus will develop. So in this way, the insulin growth factor 2 receptor are present in the zygote for the cell proliferation. In this way, that is why the zygote will convert into the many cell mass and convert ultimately into the embryo very rapidly due to the proliferation, differentiation and maturation of the cell for organogenesis. So in this way, here is the PI3K pathway, phosphoinositide 3 kinase pathway will lead to activate the AKT pathway. And in this way, the insulin-like growth factor 2 receptor will bind with the insulin-like growth factor 2. And in this way, the zygote cytosol is here. And this is the cytoplasmic trigger. So in this is the DNA basically here you can understand. So AKT pathway will activate the gene for the IGF transcription factor and other protein like the P65 and P50, but also the insulin growth factor 2. So in this way, the insulin growth factor 2 and other protein so will enter into the blood, and basically it will enter into the blood, and it will also work itself for with the zygote to proliferation, but it will also enter into the mother excessive insulin growth factor 2. So this excessive growth, so on the other hand, here is the mTOR pathway will activate from the AKT, and the P21 and 27 protein will activate for the cellular growth and cell cycle. So in this way, here is the insulin-like growth factor 2. Basically, will bind with the insulin-like growth factor 2 binding protein. When this will binding protein will lead to inactive in the mother. So remember, for mother it is inactive, but for fetus or for zygote it will active. So let's understand about the other thing is that the insulin growth factor 2 targeting to the different tissue for the organogenesis in the early fetus stage. So that is important thing. So insulin growth factor 2 will work for the several organs and several tissue for their proliferation and maturation. So let's understand here. First of all, the brain, the bone, and the muscle, liver, pancreas, and the blood vessel, as well as adipose tissue. For brain, the brain cell proliferates, and autocrinally or paracrinally, the IGF2 will bind. But the growth plate, endochondrial ossification will occur in the bone, myogenesis will occur in the muscle, and liver production in the liver, the production of glycogen in fetal liver, and hepatocyte proliferation also occur. On the other hand, the pancreas, if you think about that, the pancreas proliferation of beta cell for further insulin production for fetus, management of the glucose metabolism. So the energetic adaptation will occur in the pancreas due to the release of the insulin in the early age of the fetus. On the other hand, the vessel, basically the blood vessel will lead to increase the angiogenesis. In this way, the increase of the blood vessel and adipose tissue will also increase. See you in the next video for this one. Bye.